and it's an honor to have seen your previous podcast.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sala, a podcast series Bottom Line Equation na 12th episode upar. आज ना podcast na guest Aarif Bhai Munaquibwala from NBR Cooling Systems. Aarif Bhai ni journey as a third gen entrepreneur घनी exciting रही है. Aarif Bhai started as an MBA graduate in marketing and finance and अपने business ने leaps and bounds grow કીધું છે. આજની એની જર્નીમાં અને આજના પોડકાસ્ટમાં આપણે એમ સુનશું કે કેવી રીતને ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટિંગ સિસ્ટમ્સ એન્ડ પ્રોસેસીસ એ આપણા બિઝનેસને ઓટો પાયલટ પર લાયા છે અને નાવ હી ઇઝ ટ્રાવેલિંગ અક્રોસ ધ વર્લ્ડ પાર્ટિસિપેટિંગ ઇન એક્ઝિબિશન્સ અક્રોસ ધ ગ્લોબ અને has already scaled his exposure to 5 countries and is planning to grow even beyond. So without further ado, let's jump right into the podcast. Ahlan wa sahlan Aarif Bhai. Welcome to this Bottom Line Equation podcast. It's so good to have you here today. And first and foremost, I would like to thank you on behalf of Idara Tijarat Rabia for taking time of your busy schedule and you'll be spending the next half an hour with us. And I'm sure that the audience is going to enjoy every bit of this podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's an honor. I have seen your previous podcast, and I think all the other podcasts were very good, and I've gone through them. And I think it's a very good opportunity for me to share my journey with you and the other viewers.
Super. So without wasting much of a time, I'd like to jump right into it, Aarif Bhai. And the first question is more to set the context for the rest of the podcast. If you can quickly take us through what is NBR Cooling Systems and what is it that you guys do?
Okay. So my company, NBR Cooling System, we are into manufacturing of heat exchangers. When I say heat exchangers, these are heat exchangers for automobiles, for compressors, for railways. As of today, we are manufacturing radiators, condensers, charge air coolers, and we are a private limited company. We have more than 100 employees, and we are exporting to more than 7 countries as of today. And we plan to extend ourselves to more countries, and that's it.
Okay. So your background is quite interesting, Aarif Bhai, right? As you were sharing that your grandfather started with repairing,
Yes.
father with trading, and now you guys are into manufacturing. Now it's a third generation, you're a third generation entrepreneur. So can you shed some light in the past of how it has transpired?
So I can say that radiator is kind of our family thing. My grandfather, late Akbar Bhai, started this business, and he was basically into repairing of radiators. And my father, Shabbirhusain Bhai, he took over my grandfather's business, and then he started trading of radiators. And in 2002, we got this opportunity of getting into manufacturing of radiators. Because my father was doing a very good business with his suppliers. We were doing majorly copper radiators at that point of time. So one of the suppliers of my father asked him that if you want, because your business is already very good, you have a capacity that you can have your own factory, and he will be one of the partner in that industry, in that factory. So my father took that opportunity, and that is the point of time when I joined my father's business.
Interesting. So this joining of business, was it what is the educational background with which you went into the business?
Okay. So I did not plan to join my father's business because I was not fascinated by the trading of radiators.
Okay.
But so I planned to be a chartered accountant, and I was also studying for it.
Okay.
But then my father asked me to join this business, and I thought that this is an opportunity that we are starting a manufacturing thing, and I was really fascinated by manufacturing. So then I dropped the idea of CA, and then I started pursuing MBA. I did my major in finance and marketing from Indore, Medicaps University. And yes, so I did my MBA, although I could have not done my MBA and could have continued with my father's business. But I thought that if I do an MBA, I'll get the insight of how the management should be done in a bigger setup. And I also wanted to, I wished I could have worked for some MNCs or some big companies so that I could have implemented those policies in my business. But I did not get the chance because my father did not, we did not had a time that I can go out of the city because our business was already doing very well. So I somehow managed my studies and my starting years of business together.
Got it. Now, Aarif Bhai, help me understand that you're third-gen entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
There are a lot of values. There are a lot of lessons I'm sure must be passed on to you.
Yeah.
So why don't you decode them for us?
I think my father is one of the most hardworking person I've ever seen, and he's still so hardworking that he inspires us every day. And my father has always told us that you should fulfill all your commitments, whether those commitments are with your suppliers, with your customers, with your co-workers, your staff people. So I think the commitment is something which I have taken it from my father. And yes, because of his values, because of his ethics, we are one of the major players in radiator business in India. And everybody, we have a very good goodwill in the market just because we have always fulfilled our commitments.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, Maneem kahiye, Aarif Bhai, that when we were talking initially, you and any business has quite a bunch of challenges which they go through. And in your case, I think there were two quite drastic ones.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first one that, you shared that there was this time that you guys were into copper radiators, manufacturing of copper radiators, and then the entire transition happened to aluminum based radiators. How did the business take this challenge up?
So the thing was that copper radiators were very popular in India at that point of time when we started manufacturing. But the technologically shift was so quick that all of a sudden major OEMs, they have started using aluminum radiators. And our main customers were the aftermarket.
Okay.
So after 4 to 5 years, when the OEM started using aluminum radiators, the demand for the copper radiators started going down, and the demand for aluminum radiators was increasing. So me and my brother were very in a dilemma that how should we continue this manufacturing, because we have already put a lot of money, a lot of efforts in the manufacturing to increase our manufacturing setup. But we somehow realized this thing very quickly that it's like copper is an old thing now, and if we are going to keep holding this business, our future will we might not have a good future. So what we did was we started importing aluminum radiators from China at that point of time, because setting up a manufacturing unit for aluminum radiators were a very big investment, and we were not ready for it. So from manufacturing, we again moved to trading of radiators, so that we can at least get an idea of the quality of aluminum radiators, because the process is very different.
Right.
Manufacturing a copper radiator and aluminum radiator is a different ballgame.
Right.
So then we realized that let's understand the aluminum radiator first.
Okay.
Let's understand how it works, what are the essential parameters, what are the quality involved, because aluminum is a very critical metal. And on the contrary, the investment in aluminum manufacturing was also very high.
Okay.
So we thought that let's understand the market, and again, the volume at which we need to have a aluminum plant was also very big, because we were somehow managing around 2,000, 3,000 radiators when we were making copper radiators.
Correct.
But for setting up an aluminum radiator, we should at least have a in-house sale of around 10,000, 15,000 radiators. So we thought that let's study the market of aluminum radiators, and then let's see how it goes.
Okay. So this happened, and then I think in some time there was a second challenge which you guys faced, which was about 2017, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Where that's a more geopolitical challenge, or a policy, country level policy challenge, which you shared that there was anti-dump duty which was applied.
Yes.
And then again you are square one, that now we cannot do imports of the radiators. How did you overcome now this challenge?
So yes, in 2017, the government of India imposed anti-dumping duty on the import of radiators, because they want to safeguard the local industry. So now me and my brother have worked very hard to get the market for the aluminum radiators. But we took this setback as an opportunity, that now this is the right time that we can move into manufacturing of radiators rather than continuing imports from the China. So me and my brother went to my father and asked him that this is a very big investment, and we will need your support because aluminum radiators is a bigger project as compared to the copper radiator. So my father gave us courage, and he told us that he'll do whatever he can, and he gave us a handsome amount of money so that we can start this aluminum radiators. And I think this is the turning point of our journey, because from this NBR cooling, the inception of NBR cooling, then I think this is the point where our business just went off.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Aarif Bhai, so coming to the next question. You shared that now you have to set up an entire aluminum manufacturing, radiator manufacturing, plant, which of course would require various things, but on top of that list is of course capital. So then how did you go about tackling this issue?
So we thought that we'll have a decent, maybe a small plant,
Okay.
so that we can have a capacity of around 10,000 radiators, which we think that we will be able to sell within next 2-3 years.
Okay.
But my uncle, Zafar uncle, he's a professor in Alain University.
Okay.
He advised me that if you are confident about your project, then you should go to Burhani Qardan Hasana, and if they think that your project is good, they may give you some money and you may scale up your project. So me and my father, we went to Mumbai, and we filed the application, and initially we applied for a sum of 50 lakh rupees because we had the gold equivalent to that amount. But the BQHS team told us that I think your project is very big, and I think the amount of 50 lakh won't be enough. So if you think that you want more money, you should have a project report, and we can give you more money if you think that with the help of that money you can make a bigger project. So then we were very happy, and we were very confident now that if BQHS is telling us that we can have a bigger plan, then why shouldn't we go for it? So now initially we were setting up a land for around 25,000 square feet, but then we went for a land of 4 acres. Then we were I think planning of Chinese machinery to start the production with. Then we realized that if we want to be an OEM supplier, we have to have a good equipment so that the OEMs can rely on our quality. So instead of Chinese machinery, we have ordered German machineries. So this gave us a product quality a very big boost. And from the very first day, the product that we made on our very first batch was successful enough and was a very good quality product. And this helped us to grow our market very, very fast because the product was as good as an OEM product. So we were the first in the Indian market who started production of radiators after anti-dumping duty, and with such a great quality.
Wow, very interesting. Very interesting. Habib, you were sharing, and of course, in the process of us coordinating for the podcast, you happened to mention that you'll be traveling heavily this coming week, and then you have few exhibitions lined up as well. So that just got me wondering that you have such a big scale of operations running here in Indore, but at the same time you keep traveling, you keep going to the exhibitions. So what is the need of it in the first place?
Actually, I think that travel has helped us a lot in increasing our scale of business.
Okay.
I remember in 2019, I went to Colombo for Ashra, and that I have few spare days, and I thought, let's go and see the market in Sri Lanka. Then I realized that there are many people who are buying from India, and then I realized that we don't only have a market in India, we have a market abroad as well, because Indian automobiles are being exported to Sri Lankan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So now our market size suddenly grew 5 times. So one thing which also motivated us to have exhibitions everywhere, that when we went to China for buying radiators in 2014, we went to an exhibition and we found our supplier from an exhibition. So that's why we thought that let's participate in exhibition ourselves, so that people can know about our company, because in exhibitions only the actual buyer comes. There are no people who are not interested in your product. So then we started exhibiting in New Delhi in the Auto Expo, and the response was very good. We started with a small space in the very first year, and then every year we have increased the size of our booth. Now we exhibit in around 500, around 50 square meter every year. And at this point of time also, my brother is in Dubai. There is an exhibition going on in Dubai called Auto Mechanica. Auto Mechanica is an exhibition which is they mainly focus on aftermarket radiator or aftermarket products for the automobiles.
Okay.
And in next year we plan to exhibit ourselves in Las Vegas and in Frankfurt as well.
Very nice.
So exhibition played a very important role in our
Okay,
business.
and is it just exhibiting, or do you travel to gather knowledge from other exhibitions, otherwise also as a business?
Yes, of course. When you go to exhibitions, you get to see other manufacturers as well. You get to see what are their new products which they are developing. So it's not only about us, because you see, learning is a process which never stops.
Correct.
So when you see other manufacturer, you realize that, oh, this can also be done with the similar product. So yes, we have developed many products when we saw the similar kind of products in other exhibitions. So yes, you're right. We have learned a lot from the exhibitions as well.
Got it. Got it. I missed one point earlier when we were talking about setting up this plan, because any product, when you come up with it now, in here we're talking of an entire technological change from copper to aluminum.
Yeah.
So how did you go about the R&D part of it? And then how do you still continue to do that, because the product has to be perfected over a period of time.
Right.
It's so much change, otherwise you are obsolete. So how do you tackle that?
Look, initially we started with supplying radiators for the aftermarket.
Yeah.
So we only have to do reverse engineering, the radiator which are already existing. We have to buy those radiators, we have to reverse engineer them, and we have to make a similar prototype, and we can sell them in the aftermarket. But recently, in Burhani Expo, the first edition, which happened in Galiakot, we met Tijarat Rabia people, and we told them about our new project, that if we can set up a lab and a research and development facility in our factory, we would be able to manufacture radiators from scratch. We can make radiators as per the OEM specification. And then again, BQHS came into picture, and they have funded us. And with the help of their funds, we have set up a lab in our factory.
Okay.
Now we have an R&D setup of our own. We have a design team of our own. Now, if any OEM, they want to give us any data, we can design radiators as per their requirements. We have wind tunnel, we have vibration test, we have salt spray, we have impulsation test. All these tests we can do in-house. So we don't have to rely on any third party. And the manufacturer also understands that this company is involved in research and development. So their belief, their trust also,
Of course.
is more now NBR.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Interesting, Aarif Bhai. Now, you spoke about how R&D played a role in this entire scaling up your business, attracting OEMs, etc.
Right.
But right now, Industry 4.0 is the talk of the town. We are talking about AI, infusion of robotics, all sort of things. We recently did a pavilion in Surat, wherein we had displayed why people should go towards manufacturing. And in that, we had an entire section dedicated towards future of manufacturing, and Industries 4.0 is what we discussed at length. So how do you guys in NBR Cooling Systems, use Industry 4.0 to grow and enhance the capabilities of manufacturing?
You see, I travel to China a lot because of my business. All my suppliers are from China. And whenever I go to China, I get inspired a lot
Okay.
because I've seen them grown from last 10, 12 years. And initially they were doing, workers were doing the manufacturing, doing the assembly thing. But now they have moved to automation. And now even the press shops are used, they use robotics for their press shops. And their plant is so much automated that from the raw material to the processes to the assembly, everything is online. So I think they require maybe 10 times less people than we require in India. So I think that Industry 4.0 is something which we are working in NBR as well. We have already ordered few core builders which are automatic. We started with manual core builders, but now we think that when you have automation in your industry, the quality is always better when things are done by machine as compared to when things are done by humans. And now we are also introducing robotics in our welding department. We will soon have a robo arm which will do the welding process, and this will eliminate the process errors which or the human errors which normally is done by workers when they are working. Because you see, a machine, they never get tired, but a human, you can trust them, but there is always a possibility of error when something is done by human. So yes, we have taken we have taken this into consideration, that how NBR will move ahead with the Industry 4.0.
Very nice. So interesting. Now you said you you're going to be traveling next year as well. Your presence in Dubai. But with traveling, of course, it comes with a lot of downtime being present physically in the business.
Right.
And of course, you're running such a sizable operation. So how do you then balance it out both? Is it not, because what I've seen in most of the cases that people, the leadership makes it a mandate to be there full time 24/7, otherwise the operation viability becomes questionable. So then how have you balanced it out?
Well, I think that if you have a competent team, if you have systems in your company, then you don't have to be present there every time. Because look, I look after production and operations. My brother Abbas Bhai, he looks after sales and marketing.
Okay.
So we try that we explore new markets. We always are on the run, because I've seen this, that I have every time when I have traveled, I've gained something out of it. So we have made systems in our factory. We have ERP, which helps us in planning. So all the systems help us that we can check our business when we are on the move. We have the daily reports from our team. Our staff is competent enough that they have more experience than me. So they can do things in a better way than I can tell them to do. So yes, if you have a good team, if you have a good system, then you don't have to be present in your office or at your factory. The team can manage it for you.
Got it. Got it. So help me understand in terms of your current reach. Now, where all are you present?
We have dealers and distributors pan India,
Okay.
and we are already exporting to 6 countries, 6 to 7 countries as of now.
Wow.
And next year we are going to add 3 more countries in our portfolio.
Interesting.
Apart from that, we have also started OEM business. Just as I told you, that after setting up a lab, now we were competent enough to design new radiators. So now we are also supplying to 7 OEMs in India, and we are also planning to add more OEMs. And we are always in talks with OEMs.
Got it.
So we also have set up a branch in UAE, so that we can cater to the Middle East market from there, because all the African countries, they used to buy from UAE. So now we have a setup in UAE as well.
Okay.
And we think that in the next 4 to 5 years, I think we are going to double our business.
Interesting. So that was actually my next question, that, what next for NBR Cooling Systems? Where are you guys now headed?
So recently, last year, we have added condensers in our product portfolio.
Okay.
And this year, we are expanding again, and we are diversifying into plate and wire heat exchanger. This will be a totally new product for us. The application is even bigger. This product is used by railways, defense, all the hydraulic construction equipments. So the construction is going on right now, and probably within next 2 months, We will start with this plate and bar heat exchanger. Basically, this heat exchanger is to take the heat from the oil in all the hydraulic purposes.
Got it. Got it. So one last bit before we sort of go towards the end of this podcast, that a lot of people, started from repairing, trading, manufacturing, right? So has been quite a lot of transition for you, but and of course must have given you a lot of generational learnings, right? From the first, second to third. Now, if you were to culminate these learnings and then probably share it with the viewers, that someone who's now planning to transition into manufacturing, and if you were to probably list out a quick checklist for them, okay, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or probably with your experience, this is how the process flows happen. What would that be?
I think everyone should go for manufacturing because we have realized that there is no boundaries in manufacturing. If you are manufacturing in India, the world is your market. And now these days, manufacturing is now even more easier than before. There are people, Tijarat Arabia, they can give you consultation on your business. There is Burhani Qardan Hasana that can give you funds if you are lack of funds. But before finance part, you have to sort out the product part. You should know your product, what quality is required in your product, in which market you are going to sell this product. And yes, our journey was with lots of ups and downs. But I think if you have a better understanding of your product, I think the manufacturing, you should go for manufacturing.
Got it. Got it. And one last bit, that there's various kinds of audience who watches these podcasts, Aarif Bhai. There are students, there are people who are now transitioning from service to business, from this trading to manufacturing. If you were to lay out one piece of advice which would run common among all of these threads, what would that be?
I feel that in our business, we never have taken shortcuts. And we have always followed the book of law. We have always been fair with the government policies. We follow all the HR policies, whether it's an ESIC policy or a Provident Fund policy. We have a proper HR department in our system. And we try to do everything on the books. And we pay regular taxes. Even if there are audits, we don't worry about them because everything is done by the law. So one advice which I would like to give my brothers, that don't go for shortcuts. Don't try to cut the cost by doing illegal things. If you are going to do it, then it will be difficult for you to grow, because once everything is on the book, you can leave the system on your staff or on your people. You don't have to sit on the desk to check whether or how the cash is being rotated here and there. So yes, this is one thing which we need to understand, that our community is basically into trading, but we need to move from trading to manufacturing. And when you move to manufacturing, you have to understand that you should follow the rules of the state.
This was super insightful, Aarif Bhai. I enjoyed a lot personally. There was so many things you touched upon, so many interesting aspects you touched upon of your journey, your processes, which I'm sure will be super instrumental in opening up people's perspective on a lot of things you touched upon. And on behalf of Tijarat Rabia, this is a small token of appreciation for your participation in the podcast. This is nothing as compared to the time and inputs you have given us today. And we wish you all the best, and we wish you growth leaps and bounds, and we wish to see you not just in a limited capacity participating in Expo, but we want to see you all over the world. So best of luck for that. And yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you very much for having me. And I would like to take this opportunity to show my gratitude towards Aka Maula, Tawalla Umar Sharif, and Tijarat Rabia, Burhani Qardan Hasana, because they have played a major part in our growth. We could have grown by our own, but with the help of with the help of the funds and their consultancy, we have grown ourselves rapidly in last 6 to 7 years. And thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to have this conversation again.
Super.
Yeah.